Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're answering a question that will honestly completely shift how you look at your finances. We're going to figure out why two people making the exact same amount of money can live in completely different realities. It's a fascinating phenomenon, right? You can make 90 grand a year and feel totally broke, or you can make that same 90 grand and feel utterly untouchable. We spend so much time obsessing over income, but today we're digging into the actual math behind financial freedom. We're going to map out the specific levels of wealth that genuinely change your life, and we're starting with the absolute hardest part, surviving the initial slog. Okay, let's dive right in by looking at two hypothetical guys. We've got Jace and we've got Logan. Now, on paper, these two are identical. They work the same job at the same company, and they both pull in a $90,000 salary. But then, disaster strikes. Both of their cars break down in the exact same week, and they both need a $1,400 repair. Jace, he simply taps his card, goes back to scrolling on his phone, and doesn't even flinch. Logan, on the other hand, well, he reads the estimate 3 times, feels a stomach drop, and frantically opens his banking app to see which bill he can push to next month. Same income, same exact bill, completely different human experiences. And what separates them isn't luck. It definitely isn't their salary. It is their net worth. Think of income as water just flowing through your hands. Net worth, though, that's the bucket that actually catches it. Jace has water in his bucket, Logan doesn't. Alright, moving into Section 1, the income illusion and the math of the slog. So we are all kind of culturally conditioned to obsess over income, right? The salary, the raise, the year-end bonus. But the truth is, that bucket we just talked about, it has specific lines painted on the inside, and crossing them changes your entire experience with money. The real foundation, the one that actually buys your mind back, is level 1, and that is $100,000. We call this escape velocity. Now, depending on where you're sitting while watching this explainer, that number might feel impossibly huge, or it might feel almost insultingly small. But stay with me here, because whether you're grinding toward this number right now or you passed it a decade ago, this is absolutely the most important threshold we are going to cover. Look, if you're currently feeling the intense frustration of trying to build those early savings, I need you to know something. You aren't doing it wrong. It is genuinely incredibly hard. Just look at this quote from the late Charlie Munger. This is Warren Buffett's business partner, a guy worth billions of dollars. He bluntly said, "The first $100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit." Now, why would a literal billionaire fixate on a number that was frankly a rounding error to him? Because the journey to that first 100K is the only stretch where you are doing basically all of the heavy lifting yourself. The market is barely helping you out yet. Every dollar in that account is a dollar you had to earn, save, and radically refuse to spend. Section 2, the hidden cost of zero and the psychological toll it takes. What's truly fascinating here is the hard data behind financial stress. Researchers actually went to a mall in New Jersey, grabbed regular shoppers, and asked them to imagine a car repair. Literally the exact Jason Logan situation. Half the group imagined a $150 repair, and the other half a $1,500 repair. After that, they all took a cognitive test to measure their raw problem-solving skills. The data is wild. For higher-income shoppers, their scores were completely unaffected. But for the lower-income shoppers who had to imagine that $1,500 repair, their scores dropped by a full standard deviation. Same brains, right? But because they spent just 30 seconds worrying about money they didn't have, their cognitive ability absolutely tanked. The researchers actually compared this drop in brain power to losing a full night of sleep. Just imagine that. Imagine living your entire life trying to make parenting and career decisions permanently sleep-deprived by this low-grade financial static. That is Logan in the parking lot. And this brilliantly illustrates that we are not talking about some rare, isolated problem here. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 30% of American adults couldn't handle a surprise $500 expense using just cash or savings. Around 30% couldn't cover 3 months of expenses by any means at all. When you look at those numbers through the lens of that mall study, it totally flips the script. This isn't just a discipline problem, it's a dangerous vulnerability. Hitting level 1 isn't about saving up to buy a yacht. It's about buying quiet. It's about getting your own mind back from that constant humming background calculation of just trying to survive. Section 3, the practical guide for surviving the climb. Okay, so how do we actually get out of that static? Step 1, you have to explicitly set the target of $100,000. Write it down. Step 2, and this is absolutely crucial, automate the contribution. You literally cannot rely on willpower at the end of the month. That money has to move into savings before you even see it in your checking account. And step 3, outlast the boring part. Because trust me, it is going to be boring. Almost everyone who quits right here, in the slog, right before the math actually starts working in their favor. Getting through this phase doesn't require you to be some Wall Street financial genius, but it absolutely requires you to be incredibly stubborn. To push that snowball up the hill, you really need to lean into these specific, unglamorous habits. First off, stop measuring your success by your paycheck alone. Start measuring it by the bucket. Next, you've got to set up those small, boring, automated investments, and you have to radically refuse to spend those saved dollars when temptations pop up. Always remember the real goal here. Level 1 isn't about adding a luxury to your life. It's about subtracting a fear, specifically the fear of the emergency. And finally, just ignore the lack of early market help. For the first few years, your portfolio growth will look incredibly tiny compared to your actual contributions. That's totally normal. Just keep your head down and keep automating. Section 4. The snowball effect and the momentum of wealth. Now here is exactly why you endure the pain of that initial climb. Watch how the timeline starts to compress. If you save and invest $10,000 a year at a 7% return, getting from zero to your first $100,000 takes roughly 7 to 8 years. It is a slow grind. But going from $100,000 to $200,000, that doesn't take another 8 years. It only takes about 5. From $200K to $300K takes under 4 years. And here is the truly mind-blowing part. Going from $500,000 to a full $1 million takes about the exact same amount of time it took you to scrape together that very first $100,000. You are literally generating 10 times the wealth in the exact same window of time with the exact same effort. So why does time compress so dramatically? Because at $100,000, your money quietly clocks in for its very first day of work. Think about it. At $100,000 invested, with a 7% return, your portfolio throws off about $7,000 a year, entirely on its own. That is nearly a full year's maxed-out IRA contribution earned by your money while you were completely asleep. You spent 8 years pushing that heavy snowball uphill, and right at this magical number, it crests the top and starts rolling down the other side, picking up its own momentum. And just to give you a quick glimpse of the horizon, this is where that snowball eventually takes you. Level 2, which is between $500,000 and $1 million, is where your money effectively earns a second full-time income. It quietly removes friction and buys you real options, like the power to just walk away from a terrible boss. Then you've got Level 3, the multimillion mark, which operates on the 4% rule. That's where your investments can fund your lifestyle forever. But notice the underlying theme here. The ultimate purpose of this whole climb is never about buying a giant mansion or a shiny yacht. People who reach Level 3 and just focus on accumulating stuff, they usually stay miserable. The ones who finally feel different use that wealth to buy back their one finite, non-renewable resource, their time. Which brings us to the final thought I really want to leave you with today. We've seen the math, we've unpacked the psychology, and we've seen the sheer undeniable power of just outlasting the slog. 10 years from now, your money is either going to be quietly working for you like Jace, or you are going to be working around the lack of it like Logan. And the only thing that separates them is which line in that bucket they've quietly managed to cross. So which version of the parking lot do you want to live in? Don't even focus on the multi-million-dollar fantasy right now. Pick the very next realistic level for you and honestly ask yourself, what is your very next automated, boring contribution going to be? Because that small, boring habit is exactly how you buy back your peace of mind. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, I highly encourage you to go set up that automation today.